Back into the program as it's time now to head on over to the kitchen area. Look who's there. Sheree Clark is there. But folks, you know, a lot of people trying to stick to New Year's resolutions. Right. And also trying to stay warm. But can you combine the two? Can you stick to your New Year's resolutions and have something nice and warm to drink? Sheree, can you do that?
I know you can. Absolutely, Lou. I'm going to show you.
Okay.
You said absolutely, Lou. It's painfully cold out, although it's a little better today, even though it's breezy out there. So it is nice. I've been kind of getting in the chili mood, the veggie chili. And hot drinks they taste so good this time of year. And you know, you could throw out some hot chocolate and dump a pile of sugar in it and marshmallows. And,
Schnapps.
Yeah, exactly. Then you got trouble. But we want to do something healthy, and that's what you've done. You've got some alternatives for us today.
I've got some great options for you. And so I'm going to start with the simple and move to the little bit more complex. And these are all things that I actually consume, and they have good reasons. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a really simple tea, and I'll let you taste this if you'd like. This is a non-caffeinated herbal. It's just made out of seeds, and there's 3 seeds. Seeds. Really good. Yeah, it's awesome. It looks like this. It's cumin, coriander, and fennel. So
so people who cook or bake would know. Yep. Kind of have an idea of what I'm smelling here. It really smells great.
It does, and you don't buy the powders; you buy the seeds. Okay. So what you're going to do then is you just take. This is a tea steeper, and so you can just tea steeper. You put some seeds in there, put it in hot water, and then when it's done, you drink it. That's it.
Okay. And health benefits to any of this?
There's a lot of different health benefits to CCFT. If you're familiar with the term Ayurveda is a kind of an Indian, ancient Hindu medicine. It's got a lot of health-giving properties. We could do a whole segment on that. But the big thing is, in the springtime, it helps clear mucus and makes you feel a little bit more sprightly.
I can see where, because it sort of made my nose feel clearer just smelling that, you know.
And some people like to sweeten it, and so my recommendation is to use a raw honey, locally produced. This one is actually from New Jersey, which we wouldn't call local here, but I bought it when I was home in New York for my high school reunion over the summer. So
it was local then.
Yeah, exactly.
What's raw honey? I thought honey was raw.
Honey that's raw is unpasteurized. It hasn't been heated. It hasn't been processed. So it's really better for us because it's got more of the enzymes and the nutrients intact.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
This is good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go a little bit more complicated. And actually, this has got the one with the most ingredients is what I do every single morning in the car on my way to yoga. I don't make it in the car. I make it before I get in the car, but in the car I sip it. Okay, so what I do is I start with, you're familiar with ginger.
Yes.
This is ginger root, okay. You may also be familiar with turmeric.
I've heard of it.
Okay, this is what it actually, yes, and this is what it looks like. It's the thing that makes curry this color.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful spice, and you can see they both look real similar. They're root vegetables, real good, real clearing. They're anti-inflammatory, both of them, so they have a lot of good health benefits. So I take those and I juice them, and this is actually from my refrigerator. I do this every Sunday. I fill it up about 2/3 of the way with a little bit of ginger, a little bit of turmeric, and make the juice. And then I dump some of that into the cup with a little lemon juice that I also do up in advance. I put in a sprinkle of cinnamon. Okay. A little bit of molasses, which is a good source of iron and a lot of nutrients. And then a quick crack of pepper with cayenne in it.
Really?
Now that sounds like a really convoluted mess, but I'll have you taste it and see what you think.
Okay. I've got a couple questions for you afterwards.
I bet you do.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have a really strong flavor, actually.
No. You can taste the molasses, because I like mine a little sweet, so I add quite a bit of molasses in it. It's really good. And your questions, I think I know. But
well, I know I've read that lemon juice and cinnamon have some weight loss benefits. And I know that's not your big push, but I do know that I've read that. Have you?
The lemon juice, what I think probably what it speaks to is cinnamon is blood sugar regulating. Okay. So sugar spikes are one of the things that make us kind of hungry and makes us think that we are wanting food when we may not necessarily be. The lemon juice is alkalizing, and that helps us keep the blood pH level intact. So I suppose there may be some health benefits. Like you said, that's not why I do it. I do it because it's hydrating. I also like the anti-inflammatory benefits. Remember, I'm in the car on the way to yoga, so I want to be loose and bendy.
Right.
So it's good for that, and it's a good caffeine substitute. Caffeine's not a good thing to do before yoga.
Oh, I think it's always a good thing to do. But then I work this shift.
Yeah, exactly.
How long does ginger last in the fridge, by the way?
Ginger lasts until it starts to look shriveled, but it's never going to go bad. It's not going to be something that will make you sick if you eat it. If it's over past its prime, it just won't yield a good juice.
Okay.
So don't worry about eating bad ginger. If it's got mold on it, cut the mold away, obviously, but it'll stay a good long time. Keep it in the refrigerator. I don't wrap it in plastic. I put it in the crisper drawer area and just let it be.
Okay.
Okay.
And you've got one more.
I've got two more.
Two more.
Real
Oh,
quick.
wow.
Okay. Hot apple cider. This is a great time of year for that. I like to buy the organic because apples tend to be a sprayed product.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I heated up some hot apple cider. I'll let you take that while I'm telling you what
love
else I
that,
put in
yeah.
there. I've added some ghee. I'm adding for you a cinnamon stick.
That's good.
The whole stick. And I could put in sprinkled cinnamon, but I think that makes it a little festive. And then, if we want to jazz it up a little bit, we could also throw in just a little bit of orange rind.
It's a little zester.
Exactly.
I'm going to try a little ghee because I've never had it. What is ghee for people who don't know?
Ghee is clarified butter, so the milk solids have been removed. So it's a really rich, very beautiful buttery taste.
It is.
It's good on popcorn. If viewers are vegan, and I do use ghee. If I'm going to use any butter, I always use a ghee, and I use an organic. If people have an objection to that because it's an animal product, you can use coconut oil. Works just the same. And the reason I put the oil in there is because it gives it a little bit more of a satiety factor.
Yes.
You feel more satisfied by it.
We've talked about the bulletproof coffee,
Yes.
coffee and butter, which sounds crazy, but it actually very satisfying.
Yep, makes you happy.
Yeah. And finally.
And the last thing I brought you is a little bit of a sweet, and this is hot chocolate. Now, you alluded to the fact that hot chocolate is not exactly a health product.
Well, yeah, traditionally.
Right, but you know me. I'm going to ramp it up a little bit. So I made you homemade milk with just simply cashews. I used cashews and water. So this is just cashews blended up in the blender. I used a good quality chocolate powder. And you can see that it doesn't have any milk solids in it, doesn't have any added sugar, it's organic, it's a really good one. I blended those together, heated it up, and then to sweeten it, because so far there's no sugar in it,
Right.
I just added some peppermint stevia.
Okay.
So what you have now is
A hot chocolate with peppermint in it. Which
so it's a
everybody loves.
hot minty chocolate.
That's really good. Where would you get chocolate like that?
You can buy that at the natural food store. Hy-Vee carries some good quality, unadulterated chocolates. You just have to ask. Read the label. What you're looking for is something that just simply says chocolate powder or cacao beans.
Okay.
Doesn't say sugar, doesn't say milk, it says nothing else. And I prefer the non-alkali process, which is another whole segment we could do sometime about how chocolate is made.
Well, thank you very much. Now, it's a new year. Where can people find you now?
They need to find me at www.fork-road.com.
Okay.
And then we will be coming back for season 3 in the spring. We don't have a date to announce yet, but we will be back.
Okay. You're working on that.
We're working on that.
Good. Well, it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much
you're
for
welcome.
all the great advice. And speaking of all the great advice, we've got all the news and all the weather coming up.